On Saturday, Logan pressed for strikeouts, Ben Williamson delivered the goods, and Rowdy delivered on all his promise in the sweetest moment he'll have. Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. On Saturday, Mariners beat the Blue Jays 8-4 to take their first game of the series and the second game overall of the series. And the funny thing is, our expected batting average in Friday's game was 306. Our expected batting average in this game was 191. Yet in Friday's game, we only produced one run off that 306 XBA. And in this game, we produced 8 runs out of a 191. Now, how do you do that? Well, sputtering for a long time, didn't score until the 5th inning, put a little bit of a small ball together. Then in the 7th inning, Ben Williamson delivers the goods, his first major league home run. Now, this isn't a guy who has high average exit velocities. I don't expect him to hit the ball much going forward. He just caught a hold of it, drove it out to left field, and got that sucker out of there. That gave us the 3-3 tie at that time. And basically, that was what saved the game for us over all the 9 innings. Because while Logan was dominant, including 19 swinging strikes on 102 pitches, getting 9 strikeouts on the day, including 10 swinging strikes on the slider, 6 swinging strikes on the splitter, 2 on the curveball, and 1 on the sinker. His fastball wasn't quite working as well, as he only threw it 22 times and didn't get any whiffs on it. It wasn't getting hit hard. Luckily, he still has shown a little bit of a knack for pitching to contact, as his average exit velocity against this year, 88.3, is extremely low. That's actually almost identical to the career average of Brian Bayo, who the Mariners are going to be facing today in a few minutes. But with Logan, really was just battling in these counts, still getting that really low average exit velo, and still getting tons of swing and miss. It was just a weird pitch mix, throwing 37% slider, 22% splitter and 4-seam, 60% curveball and 4% sinker, going really on the off-speed and breaking balls here. I don't expect to see that be his pitch mix going forward. I expect to see that 4-seamer come back in a big way eventually. But he has liked that sinker this year a little more as well. And it goes back to spring training, talking about where he feels he can be just as effective in the mid-90s as he does in the upper 90s. This will just be something to monitor going forward, because if he is phasing the fastballs kind of into his secondaries and using slider, splitter as his primary, it's a good slider that he has. I'm just not sure if that's the same pitcher or if he becomes sort of a super tall guy who's doing something similar to Framber Valdez, which I still want him to push for these strikeouts. And even in this start where he's going to these junky pitches, he's battling and getting a ton of strikeouts. He's not going deep into the games, and that's the number one problem is, 102 pitches just got us through 4.2 innings. Did give up the 7 hits, 2 earned runs, and 2 walks. But inducing so much swing and miss, obviously, Logan is dominant. There's no doubt about that. He's one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball, both swing and miss and at inducing weak contact. It's just time to put it all together. And if he can start having some 7-inning starts, the rest of the league, you can just end the Cy Young race there. If Logan can start having some 7-inning, 6-inning, even 6-inning starts and start getting these quality starts under his belt, because right now he's got a 2.63 ERA, but there's just really almost nobody better. The pitching run value, 96th percentile. Fastball run value, 91st. Off-speed run value, 97th. So, Logan Gilbert definitely could be in for his first Cy Young if he can just get a little bit deeper into these outings. Otherwise, he might just be a guy who doesn't go as deep into these games, but it is throwing a lot of pitches and has everything else. And from that, we just could see more problems as the year gets longer in terms of innings limits. He might not pitch that many innings by July or August but then he'll still have thrown so many pitches that maybe, you could see is just a slight dip in velocity, which obviously just said that shouldn't be a problem, but you never want to see that. You could have, some sort of phantom IL stint where he manages innings really well to try to save him for the playoffs. These are things that, overall, like if we were putting Logan Gilbert out there tomorrow in game 1 of a must-win playoff series, I feel really good about it. So I'm not worried about the Arsenal. Just seeing him do a lot of different things that I wouldn't expect from him. On the other end, Jose Barrios, he got the quality start, funny enough, and Logan didn't. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks to just 3 strikeouts, giving up the homer to Ben Williamson. The funny thing is, Logan Gilbert got hit hard 4 times in this start, whereas Jose Barrios got hit hard 9 times. So it's interesting to say the least that Logan gets into these battles and just gets so deep into these counts. He definitely is. He has tons of intent with his pitching. Sorry, I don't know exactly how to say it, but Logan could be in for a Cy Young campaign if he could just get that pitch count down, get some quality starts. Moving on, gotta talk about Ben Williamson delivering the goods, having that first home run. As I said, exit velocities for him aren't super high, but very encouraging to see him go 2 for 6 at the bottom of the lineup. We actually had our first 4 runs of the game. Our first 4 runs of this game were scored, I think, by the very bottom of the order. 2 for Crawford, 2 for Williamson. And that, so those first 4 runs, then obviously Rowdy had a grand slam other than that. And then the bullpen also did really, really well. So after Gilbert only gets you through a little over half the game, 4.2, Colin Snyder comes in for 1.1, only gets hit hard once. Those 21 pitches, gets a strikeout, allows the earned run on 2 hits, but it gets you 4 outs. Then Casey Legumina comes in, a strikeout, a walk, no damage. He's still got a perfect ERA on the season, knock on wood. Carlos Vargas, 2.70 ERA, a guy who we're trusting a lot now. 3 hits in those 2 innings, but he's getting a lot of length. For as many times as Mariners fans already can remember him giving up crucial hits or maybe even homers this season, and he did get hard 3 times in those 2 innings. He's got a 2.70 ERA because he's giving you so much length out of the bullpen. And then Bizardo throwing 13 pitches, no strikeouts, no walks, just a clean inning. Munoz coming in, throwing 7 pitches, getting 3 outs. And then, the strikeout and the 1 strikeout, 1 walk for him. Casey Lawrence coming in, giving up a run not earned on 12 pitches. He was actually optioned and just cleared waivers and made it back to AAA Tacoma today. Now, the final thing to talk about is the sweetest moment of this game, undoubtedly. Rowdy Tellez has been the sore spot in the lineup. Donovan Solano obviously hasn't been playing quite as much, but Rowdy's been playing quite a bit. Still only batting 140. But this is a guy who, Mariners fans are starting to really bring the heat towards. He's a guy who was a fill-in for an incredibly thin team, who performed well in spring training after being brought in out of need, was just sitting on his couch mid-February. At least, goes the saying. But he comes in, he basically starts at first base for us so far, and just hasn't produced at all, barely even getting hits. Then this series, he comes out with his first 2 home runs against his former team. But this one, where it's tied, in extra innings, and you come in the 12th inning and hit a bat-flipping freaking grand slam, not a walk-off because we're away, but it can't feel any more like a walk-off. Just seeing him swing the bat, flip it, point to the dugout, that's the type of moment that we don't get from a guy like Mike Ford in years past. So if we get that moment from a Rowdy Tellez, maybe he can get hot. Maybe he can get over the Mendoza line, and maybe we can have him for 80 to 100 games this year. That's my hope. With that being said, we've got our game going on right now. So I will see you guys back here to recap the rubber match of the Toronto series. And then I will see you guys for, during that, I'm going to be previewing this game a little, which is just getting going. That being said, see you guys in a bit. Go Ams.